Hello, this is Linda Hughes. I'm on the board of Patients for Patient Safety Canada, and I have the honor today of interviewing one of our Patients for Patient Safety Canada members, Melvin Swan, who's an Indigenous elder amongst many other things. And to start the day, I want to give him thanks for meeting with me today, and I'm doing that by giving him some sacred tobacco.
Oh,
Thank you, Melvin.
Thank you. Yes.
All right, Melvin, perhaps you could introduce yourself a bit and then tell us about your hospital experience.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank you for accept this tobacco in a good way and ask the Spirit to guide me and bless me. And telling this story, I am a veteran residential school survivor, day school survivor, now boarding school survivor. My claim to fame is a human rights case I won against the Canadian Forces in 1994 to do with discrimination. Look it up, it's there. And a lot of what I bring to the table, I've lived. It comes from my personal experience. It's not written in any book. I preach the circle of life where everything is connected in this lifetime as we live and breathe every day. Again, my View Hospital 12 years ago, April 2012, I had a stroke. First of all, I was not one to stay down. 2 days when I had the stroke, I was idle for 2 days trying to sleep it off. And finally, on the Saturday morning, it wasn't going away, and I walked in there and told me to undress and take my clothes off and they took my keys. So there was some construction going on there in my house coat that belonged to the hospital, and I laid down on the bed and all I could hear was pounding on a jackhammer outside the window where I was laying. So I got up again and I got dressed and I headed for the front door and I said, "Doctor," I said, "can you call me with the results? I can't stay here, it's too loud and give me a headache." So he held my keys and he said, "No, Mr. Swan," he said, "we just did your blood work and you have had a stroke. You're not, I'm afraid I'm not giving you the keys and let you have an episode out there and crash and kill somebody or something. You're going to get into that ambulance." Put an observation on the bed for 6 hours and I fall asleep. I wake up and I'm shocked. I can't move. I can't talk. I'm totally paralyzed. I'm in my body. I can move my eyes at the time, and I was in shock, a state of panic. And I believe I fell off the bed because that's how hard it hit me, the stroke. And it to me, I know I had two intravenous's on, and they put me in the bed, and they were reviving me. They did something to me. I am not sure what they did to me because there was 4 specialists trying to put a pacemaker in my chest and heart. And it was an awful experience. I still remember it. And the worst part too was they stuck me in a bed space that my biological auntie had died in 2 months prior. And I said, somebody doesn't want me to survive. So after all that, I struggled for those 2 weeks trying to stay alive, praying and hoping the Creator heard my prayers. And there was at that time a lot of confusion with elders and spiritual popcorn elders, as they call them, that are not real healers but only play the game or borrow ceremonies or whatever it is they do. But at this day, I was blessed because a week later I see the bed go across my room and I seen a bunch of people pushing this bed with an elder in it, and I could barely function. I was in a wheelchair, but I could see the bed going by, and all these people, I recognized people from back home. And all of a sudden, that elder yells, "Stop!" And he tells people to get away, and he says, "Melvin, is that you?" I said, "Yes, elder." "Come over here," he said, "let me look at you." So I managed to push the wheelchair over there and take a good close look at him. It was Don Daniels. He told me he was sick too, that his heart was failing him, that he was trying to survive because his wife had just died a year or 6 months prior. But anyways, I've known the old man for 30 years, and we spoke the language, and he says, "Boy, you look awful. You look pretty pale. You better come and see me as soon as you can," he said to me. "Okay," I said, and then he gave me the recognition, I guess, that I needed, and the whole crowd just pushed him along in his bed, and I guess 2 weeks later, they moved me to River. I still couldn't talk properly, and because when I look back, I could just shake my head, and I realized that's what I did to the elder, and I thought I was talking to him. But it was an awful feeling of being in the body and you couldn't move. You couldn't talk. You couldn't communicate. Because they took all my spiritual items. They took sweetgrass. My eagle whistle was destroyed, trying to protect and help myself heal with what the elder had taught me, Don Daniels. And he said to me, talk to the Creator. He will listen to you. You have that connection, he said. And as you do that, the Creator will give you your life back. So I tried to do that. I had a Paiute eagle whistle from the Sundance that I had been given in the Sundance. And that was around my neck as I struggled to go out there in nature to the tree where I put tobacco. I had my eagle feather and my eagle whistle, and I hugged the tree and prayed and cried to ask Creator to have pity on me and give me the life back that I carried as a warrior, as a Anishinaabe person. It was very hard for me because I struggled every morning before the sun rose to do that, because that's what I was told by the elder. And some days the hospital would just lock me in or lock me out and laughed at me as I struggled in a wheelchair outside. And one day I got out of that wheelchair and I walked 5 steps and hugged that tree like I was told by the elder. I was feeling the power of Creator and Mother Earth. And, after I did that, I laid down to feel Mother Earth on my back. And all these guys came running out and started panicking and saying, "Are you okay?" And all this stuff. I said, again, it was one of those days where they locked the doors, and I was struggling in the wheelchair trying to get in the building after the ceremony, that my eagle whistle was around my neck, much like my medicine pouch, and it fell off because of my struggle. It took the hit for me for what was happening, how ignorant people are of our ways, which is what I learned from this process in that hospital. Is we as Indian people, First Nation people, have to take our power back from the churches, from the system, and be recognized across the board as our spiritual health care, because that's what our people need. My veterans need that, the elders need that recognition, the tobacco says that to me, and that's what's needed. Reconciliation. I've walked with, I know in my personal path what it takes to survive. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here talking to you people and sharing my experience, because it's multifaceted. The main thing about reconciliation, and it's up to everyone to take part in it, in that circle of life. There's no beginning, there's no end, but there's connection. We gotta be connected, because everything I've been through in life, it's not written in a book, it's not written anywhere. It's something I live from life experiences. Thank you.
What would you point out to healthcare?
Healthcare, like I said, everybody's got to be connected on the same page. I don't think everybody is connected. I think my people, the leadership, the health system is separate and apart from the ordinary system out here. And because I spoke the truth, and I will always speak the truth, because that's what it takes to move ahead.
Okay.
It takes a lot of reconciliation, a lot of forgiveness, a lot of prayers, a lot of understanding. It is important that people recognize that spiritual health structure that's been there for time immemorial before all these other systems came into power. But it is part of my circle of life, from the Aboriginal People's Television Network to them getting involved with the media within Patients for Patient Safety. I thank Patients for Patient Safety for allowing me to tell my story. I try not to get into too many details, but it is hard, because for me, it's like yesterday, and life carrying this over my head. You know, it's
Good.
It's been a tough battle, and it's I think leaving it to the Creator has left me in a good way to find answers, like Patient for Patient Safety, and using that platform to tell my story, because there's nothing else.
I want to thank you, Melvin, for
Thank you for the
thank you very
platform.
much. Thank you.